Oh my goodness, guys, is the stock market exploding after we got the November CPI data this morning, which came in cooler than expected. So we have to break down a bunch in this video. We're going to go over the stock market. We're going to jump into the CPI report, look at the different categories, and we have to break down some stocks that I'm looking at and overall what's going on in the overall market. So if you guys find value, hit that like button, subscribe, take a sip of your coffee, and do not forget to get up to 20 stocks from Moomoo, each up to $2,000. All you have to do is use that link down below or go to stocksurfest.com/Moomoo, deposit at least $100, and again, you get up to 20 stocks, each up to $2,000, and it also helps out the channel. I appreciate you guys as always. And now let's dive into the video, because what's going on right now, guys, is unfreaking real. So the S&P 500's up 2.4%. We have the Russell up almost 3%. The Nasdaq's up over 3%, as the Dow is up 1.6%, and the VIX is down almost 12%. And on top of that, guys, not only are the indexes ripping, the metals are also ripping as well. Gold is up 2.4%. Now it's back over 1,800, well over 1,800. Now it's pushing mid 1,800s an ounce, and we have silver up 3.7%. Crazy day for silver. It is pushing to the mid 20s, which I've been calling out on the channel like a madman recently. And looking here on SPY, guys, you can see we are taking out the highs. Well, right now we're back under the highs from the beginning of this month, but earlier, once we got the CPI data initially, SPY ripped all the way past $408, $10, and it got all the way to $414 a share. And you can see it here on the intraday chart, what I'm talking about. We had a huge spike once the data came out. Now we're starting to see a bit of a sell-off, but I do suspect potentially buyers to come in right around this little pocket that we're in right now. 405, 408, 407, right around there, and we'll see. And triple Q, let's pull that up. We can see triple Q ran all the way to over $300 in the pre-market. That means at one point it was up about 6%, almost 6%, which is unbelievable. And now it's at about 295. And just like SPY, triple Q took the highs out from earlier this month, and now it's at a multi-month high. It just hit a fresh multi-month high, which is very impressive. Nobody thought that was going to happen, and guess what, guys? That's what's happening. And who knows, maybe this rally continues. This could be the start of the Santa Claus rally. And honestly, I mean, we have been rallying for a couple weeks already, like I've said, but in the past roughly 2-ish weeks, 3 weeks, we've been in limbo, but now we're finally starting to pick direction. So is this going to be the continuation of the Santa Claus rally? It might be. It might be. So before we dive into some stocks, let's actually look at the report itself. Let's dive into the report and see what happened, because like I said, it came in, inflation came in less than expected, cooler than expected, which is really good for the bulls. And considering we have the FOMC statement tomorrow, the press conference, this is the best case scenario. Inflation coming in cooler than expected, heading into the Fed press conference now. Let's see what Powell has to say about it. Hopefully, he's extremely dovish. I mean, I'm not going to say hopefully he's extremely dovish. Who knows what's going to happen? But if he is extremely dovish tomorrow, this could send the markets even higher. You have to realize that. This could send the markets even higher. So you guys can see the CPI for all urban consumers rose 0.1% in November. And if you saw my videos earlier this week, over the weekend, we were talking about the estimate being about 0.3%. I think last month it was 0.4%. So that came down a considerable amount. And over the last 12 months, the all items index increased 7.1% before the seasonal adjustment. So that's the annualized number right there, 7.1%, where I believe it was the estimate before that when we were talking about it, it was 7.3, 7.4%. So way cooler than expected, which again is great for the bulls. And if we look here, the index for all items less food and energy rose 0.2% in November after rising 0.3% in October. So that's a decline as well. Pretty good. And looking at this chart, I mean, you guys can see inflation is coming down. I mean, believe it or not, it is coming down. Last year, it was, even the beginning of this year. I mean, you guys remember, obviously, and it's still very high now. I mean, it's not like it's 2% or anything like that. It's 7%, still very high, but it is coming down compared to what we saw, months and months ago. Back in November of 21, it was 0.7, then it was 0.6, then it was 0.6 in January again. February 0.8, March we had that monstrous month. June we had a crazy month, 1.3%, and since then, July, August, September, October, we creeped up a little bit, but now it's 0.1 again. It's come down. It's come down. That's what I'm trying to get at, right? Over the past couple of months, which is good. That means we're heading in the right direction. We do not want to see inflation obviously continue to go up. We want to see it cool off month after month. And every, 6 months, it looks like compared to 6 months ago now, it's come down a good amount. And hopefully in 6 months from now, it is down even more. So every 6 months, the way I'm looking at it is, all right, I want to see it become, coming down, over time, which is what we're seeing as of now. And looking at these different categories, guys, we can see all items, like I said, was 7.1%. And if we're looking at food, this is pretty much unchanged, whether it's, food at home. In fact, food at home increased month over month from October to November. That was 0.4, it went up to 0.5. And we had food away from home decrease from 0.9 to 0.5 from October to November, which is actually good. That's a good sign. And annualized food away from home is 8.5%. Food at home is 12%. Food in general is pushing 11%. So there's still a lot of inflation there. Fuel oil came down a substantial amount. In October, it was 19.8. Now in November, we just got the number. It was 1.7%, right? And that annualized is 65%, which is just unfreaking believable. We can go down the list here and see the other ones. Electricity has come down a little bit. It looks like, it's come down a little bit, but it's still 14% annualized. Utility gas service has come, actually, no, that's increased a little bit. It's still negative, but it increased a little bit month over month, and it's still 15% annualized. That is a pretty big number. You guys can see that, right? So I'm not going to dive too deep into these numbers, but this is what's going on. We're noticing inflation in food. It's still pretty high. It's still there. It didn't really do much except for food away from home. That decreased a little bit, but it's still there, guys. Fuel oil, again, has come down a good amount, which is nice, but again, annualized 66%. That's still extremely high. So if you guys want to see this, just go to, I just literally go to Google and type in CPI data, and it pops up. It's like the first link. Click that link or just go to bls.gov and you'll find it. You'll find it. Go look through it. Click the PDF and you can read this entire thing, which we're not going to get into in this video because guess what, guys? It is a whopping like 100 freaking pages. And we don't have enough time to do all of that in this video. So with that being said, let's dive back into ThinkOrSwim and talk about some stocks, see what's moving. So the biggest mover on my watch list today is Pinterest, which you guys can see. Let me actually clear the drawing set. And honestly, I haven't looked at Pinterest in quite some time, but the thing is, I got an alert this morning, which is why, like I say, set your alerts. All the time I say this on the channel. There's so many stocks out there, you're going to forget to look at each one all the time, right? It's just not possible. And that's why alerts are a thing. So set your alerts. I set this probably weeks ago, and today I finally got the alert. Pinterest is up 12%. And look, I had my alert at $26, I believe. And this is good that I set it, and now I'm looking at it because now Pinterest is starting to break out. You can see the ascending triangle that I've drawn out here. Clear resistance at $26. We're now at $26.50. 28 is now in sight. You all can see $28. That was the high from, I believe, the beginning of April. Yeah, $28. So Pinterest looks like that's where it wants to go, potentially. And of course, this is all, none of this is guaranteed. Nobody knows what is going to happen. This is all my opinion. And that's all it is. That's my opinion. I think it could start pushing to that, 28, maybe 30 mark. You guys can see the all-time high on Pinterest is a lot higher than where we are right now from where we are. It's at $90. So who knows where it could be going after 30. Now, am I saying it's going to go straight to 90? Heck no, guys. Heck no. But could it go from 28 to 30, mid-30s? It's possible. It's possible. So Pinterest is ripping right now. Let's see. Another one that's moving right now is Shop. Shop is up another 8%, guys, which this is one that's been doing well. And now that I'm looking at it, it has pulled down a little bit, or it did pull back from about 45 to about 36, 37. It pulled back about 19%. And now it looks like buyers clearly came in. The uptrend is continuing. We bounced off of that 180 SMA, and it looks like now buyers are trying to take this thing towards the mid 40s again. I'm not saying that's going to happen today, tomorrow, later this week. I don't know, but at some point, mid 40s has to test. And if it does test, we break that point. there's going to be a lot more upside on Shopify. Not only was $45 a resistance for Shop, a couple days ago, a couple weeks ago, but also from back in August. You can see it here. Back in August, we fell at that point, and then we cut in half pretty much from $45, $46 to $23. So, yeah, 45's got to break, and if it does, we have a lot more upside on Shop. We also have stocks like Square doing well today, also known as Block. Block looks like it's taken out the highs from a couple days ago. Now we're looking to push the highs from the middle of November, being the mid-70s. This is looking really good. I'm going to set my alert at $72. We have stocks like Meta doing well. Google's up today. Pretty much everything, guys, is up today, and I'm not going to go too far into these stocks because I'm realizing we're already about, at the time limit for this video. So I'm going to be wrapping it up, but if you guys want to see more stocks that I'm looking at, you want to see further breakdowns, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button. Let me know what stocks you want me to talk about in the comments, if any. And if you guys haven't gotten your free money from Moomoo, get up to 20 stocks, each up to $2,000 with at least a $100 deposit. Just use that link down below or go to stocksurfest.com/Moomoo. And you could also get 12 stocks from Webull, also linked down below. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Good luck in these markets. It's freaking wild out there today. I'll see you later. Peace out.